this is Do Your Zest. I'm Peter Ansonov, and I'm here to help you live your best life. I share ideas and strategies to help you reach your full potential and fall in love with your life all over again. This is the second part of the series that will help you reach your juicy, ambitious goals this year. If you haven't seen part 1, I urge you to go watch it now. It contains a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and a pretty interesting experiment from Princeton. That's it, I'll say no more. Once you're done watching part 1, come back and continue here. Here is what we've learned so far. We know that the mere act of writing down your goals increases your chance of reaching them by 42%. So yes, you should write down your goals for this year. You still have plenty of time to accomplish something meaningful. And if you're watching this video in spring or summer or fall for that matter, just remember that the best time to get your life in order is now. Let's say you sit down and power through. You put together a list of New Year's resolutions and you do it the smart way. Remember the acronym? Let's say this is done too. Would that be enough? The answer is no, it would not. As we know from part 1, only 9% of people reach their New Year's resolutions, even if they write them down. Now a question for you. Why do you think that happens? You can pause this video now and take a moment to think. After all, I'm not here to just entertain you. I'm here to help you create new possibilities. So it's not about me yapping. It's about us inquiring into this together. Don't you just love this word, inquiring? Go ahead, pause this video and inquire. Why do you think people fail to achieve their goals even if they write them down the smart way? I know it's a little naive to assume that you actually paused the video and took time to think and come up with your answers. But you know what? I believe in the good in you. And even if you didn't pause it this time, maybe you'll pause it next time. And if you did, here are a few reasons smart goals don't work. We try to change everything at once and we write down like 10 or 20 goals. We make big leaps instead of baby steps. We ignore our environment or think abstractly, making something that sounds like a nice idea into a goal. Moreover, chasing goals is like chasing your shadow. The faster you run, the faster it moves. When you reach one, you feel accomplished and satisfied. But it never lasts long. That's because we humans are always looking for expansion. You make 50,000, you want to make 100. You drive Toyota, you want to drive Lexus. Here's another phenomenon. The closer you get to reaching your goal, the more it changes. What often happens is that the closer you get towards achieving your original goal, the more you start thinking that it's not as good or ambitious as the new modified version of it. And if you achieve it too easily, you think, man, I should have aimed higher. And if you don't achieve it, you're a loser. Let's keep talking more about problems associated with goals so you see for yourself that it's not the best way to make progress in the areas that matter to you. I'll share 3 more inherent problems. Problem number 1. Goals delay happiness. Did you notice that we tend to invest our idea of happiness into achieving some specific goal? Like right now I'm pretty happy, but I'll be even happier when I get that promotion or lose those extra pounds or find the love of my life or get my dream house. Until then, I'm kind of happy, everything is good, but deep down I know that there'll be a moment in the future when I'll be truly happy. That is the biggest delusion and a pretty messed up way to view life and happiness. If you're not careful with this way of thinking, you may wind up in a state of discontent and hunger, constantly chasing your goals to become one day really happy, feeling like you're never enough and defining yourself by an achievement that you may never even achieve. Basically, when you set goals, you put yourself in a state of continuous pre-success failure. I'll repeat that, pre-success failure. Just think about it. When you set a goal that you're planning to achieve within 6 months, then 1, 2, or even 3 months into it, you're still a failure because you haven't achieved it yet. You're waiting for that magical moment to finally check it off and call it a success. And now imagine how many things can go wrong in those 6 months that can derail you. And if that happens, you're not a pre-success failure anymore. You're a permanent failure. Those are not the rules we want to live by, at least not myself. Wouldn't it be better to approach working on something from a different perspective when you don't wait for 6 months to become a success but feel good about yourself on a daily basis? I think so, and soon I'll let you know how. But before I do, we gotta discuss a couple more problems associated with goals. Problem number 2, goals derail long-term progress. Let's say you have a goal to lose 30 pounds in 3 months to look stunning in your wedding dress. You go on a diet and start exercising, or whatever else experts recommend. Why do you think videos like how to lose 10 pounds in 10 days are so popular here on YouTube and they have millions of views? Because people want quick fixes. We don't want to recreate ourselves. That's too much work. Now, tell me honestly, what do you think is gonna happen after the wedding day? Do you think you're gonna maintain that healthy lifestyle? Well, maybe you will, but the vast majority of people will go back right to their normal old ways of being. Mission accomplished. You can relax now and gain those 30 pounds right back. And the last problem that I'm gonna mention here is problem number 3. Goals lure us into believing that we can't control future. I've already mentioned that so many things can go wrong, but I have an interesting story to illustrate this point. In 1996, 15 people died. In 1996, 15 people died trying to reach the summit of Mount Everest. I'll remind you that Mount Everest is the highest mountain on the planet. Cat bomb, look at him. He doesn't care about me filming. Come here, sweetie. He likes to be around. He doesn't like to be held. Anyway, let's continue. Everest is the highest mountain on the planet that got the highest recorded death toll in history in 1996. Now guess what? All those people had a goal to reach the peak. And now I'm quoting Oliver Burkeman in his book, The Antidote: Happiness for People Who Can't Stand Positive Thinking. He writes,
"The more the climbers fixated on the end point, a successful submitting of the mountain, the more that goal became not just an external target, but a part of their own identities, of their senses of themselves as accomplished guides or high-achieving amateurs."
I hope now you're convinced that the obsession with SMART goals isn't just problematic. It's downright dangerous to a point where it can literally kill you. I know I'm taking it to the extreme, but there is real life evidence. So, isn't this a perfect moment for the big reveal? I think so. Which has already happened in the part 1. As I said, and hopefully you remember, when it comes to making progress in the areas that matter to you, there is a much better way to ensure you succeed, and it comes down to understanding the difference between goals and systems. Or one might say the difference between result goals and process goals. Result goals, which is what majority of us does, is like losing 30 pounds or making $1 million, aren't that different from dreams or even fantasies, because we aren't choosing specific behavior, we're choosing abstractions. Wishful thinking takes us over and we come up with all kinds of ridiculous goals that we don't truly desire achieving, nor can we adequately estimate what it will take reaching that goal because we've never done it before. Let me give you a few examples of results goals versus process goals or systems, so you can understand how they should be approached in order to get good results and also avoid those problems we've mentioned. If you like running and you want to accomplish something big, your result goal can be running a marathon. And your process goal or a system is your training schedule for this week. If you're coaching a tennis player like Serena Williams, your goal can be to make her win a tournament, like a Grand Slam. And your system is what you make her do every day during the training. See, you aren't being abstract. You aren't just saying, I want her to win a tournament. You're picking a specific behavior and everyday training that can yield this result. A couple more examples so it becomes super clear for you. If you're a student, your goal can be to write a term paper. Your system is writing schedule that you follow each and every day. For example, every workday from 4 to 5:30, you work on writing your paper. That's the system. If you want to feel comfortable when you read... Look at him again. Can you focus on what we're talking about with him being present on the background? Because it looks like he's determined to keep bumping this video. If you want to feel financially comfortable when you retire, your result goal can be to save up $1 million or $10 million, whatever you prefer, by the age of 60. Your system would be automatic, that's the keyword, money transfers to your savings, or I rather should say your investment account like 401k or Roth IRA. So as you see, goals have more of a what quality to them, and systems spotlight the how. I found that goals are good for planning and envisioning your results, as systems are good for actually making progress. Unlike a goal, a system is tailored towards equipping you for success, and it embraces dedication and consistency. You'd think that would be the end of the video. Nuh-uh! Now for the really interesting question. If you didn't set goals at all and only focused on systems, would you still be able to succeed? For example, if you wanted to run a marathon and ignored this goal completely, only focused on running 15 or 30 minutes a day, would you still be able to accomplish this goal? I think you would. Here's an example from my life. I work out on average 5 times a week. That's about 260 times a year. Now imagine me setting a goal of hitting the gym 260 times a year. Just saying that sentence stresses me out. And yet, this is how much I was working out last year, and as a result, I'm in a pretty good shape. The irony is that I never set a fitness goal, like I want to be at 8% body fat. I never measured my progress against some benchmark. I never set goals in regards to the weights I was lifting or classes I was taking. I never even said I wanted to be in a good shape. What I did focus on was simply to make gym a part of my day. And if you do the same, after a while, it becomes your lifestyle. I was enjoying myself at the gym and focusing on the process or the system without thinking about the outcomes. And maybe I'm not at 8% body fat after all, but guess what? I don't even care. What matters to me is that I feel and look pretty good. I know shyness was always my forte. Aren't you hooked yet? Systems sound awfully promising. That's because they are. Like Tony Robbins says, the secret to happiness in one word is progress. Having goals, dreams, and vision is great. We gotta have some clarity of where we're going. But once we are clear on that, having goals on paper makes very little difference. Implementing systems and showing up every day, this is what drives results. Good systems will make success inevitable, and you'll be able to rely on them in the long term while feeling fulfilled in the process. And that's all I've got for you today. The essence of this video in one phrase is focus on the systems and become the happiest person you know. In part 3, and there will be a part 3, we'll continue talking about systems. I'll give you a few more examples and explain how to come up with best systems for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And if you have a fine system that's been working like a charm, I'd be excited to read about it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!